Hey, it's the same old G. I've heard there was supposed to be a solar eclipse this morning, so I woke up earlier to see that. Not a solar, a moon eclipse, lunar eclipse. So I woke up this morning to check it out, and it was raining. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining like piss dog over here. So too much clouds, way too much clouds. Couldn't see any visual. So it's annoying, but it's part of what it is. It's part of what it is to live in these parts. Anyway, this is another hobo video. I'm sorry, I haven't been in the train yard for a long time, but I'll be back soon in the train yard. This morning is just it's some hobo-ness for you because it's a video response to Le Slinger de Rune, the Slinger. If you want tips on making videos, one of my oldest tips. If you asking, how does he do a video a day? Where does he get all these ideas? It's the hobo in me. It's simple. When I need an idea for a video, I go to Runeslinger's channel. I randomly pick up a video, start listening to it while I do my stuff in the morning, and I usually get an idea, and I flip it a little bit, and I talk about it. And that's it. That's what you do. You go to Runeslinger's channel, check out some videos. If you can understand what he's talking about, you'll get many ideas. So that's the thing. That's the old thing. So this morning, Runeslinger did a video. It's a video response to a video called subliminal descriptions, implied descriptions. So I go by the title, as you see, and I was listening to this and I was like, implied description, that sounds like a bad idea. Let's see what is this video's about. And so I'm listening to the video, and it's a video about subliminal descriptions, how you can use subliminal effect in role-playing game to trigger certain kinds of behavior, representation, and send some information to the player as a GM. And this is a dance video. He talks about a lot of things in it. And so it's not just about the subliminal aspect of descriptions and stuff, and there's some of it I agree, some of it I don't, so I'm gonna have to discuss a little bit what he's talking about and explain in details and the differences and all the distinctions he make. And I might forget some because I don't take notes, I just freestyle, when he's talking about subliminal effect of music, incense, the way you dress, the body language, and all this kind of stuff, I would agree 100% with that. It's kind of, it's to create a mood, create an ambiance, around the table. Some indie games are really good at it, like 1001 Nights, where you're sitting down on the floor, eating olives and playing a game that is set in the Mediterranean region. It's just to give you an idea. So I would agree with that kind of stuff. That's okay. Then he's talking about when you start to fake stuff. You start to make things look like something it's not, just to not cheat on your player, but make it look like something it's not. So he's talking about lying not lying, but telling everybody you just bought a scenario. You know, telling your player you just bought a scenario, and then faking that you're looking down often on your notes the session after, even if you're not using the scenario, just to let them realize. But he's talking about the subconscious level, so it's not you know, it's deep shit. It's not even like he thinks that they are actually thinking that he is looking at a scenario. It's all in the subconscious, you know. And if it's not, it is what it is. It is, hey, I will make you feel like I am running a scenario when I'm not, just to scare you enough, because some scenarios are deadly or nasty or whatever. I don't know exactly what's the point of this technique, but that's the kind of stuff he's talking about. And it's not the first time I hear that. I've heard that before, and I've never used it for many reasons. And it's not. I would not say that it's a bad thing. You know, it's not what I want to talk about. I don't want to judge on this stuff. I just want to ask the question of honesty and integrity and doing a shitload of special effect when everything could be, not should necessarily, but could be just straightforward. Like I don't know. It's for me. I just don't see why you want to go there as a game master. Why you want to get to the point where I know paranoia can be good, can be interesting, and starting to go on the meta level and acting out things. It's great skills. I guess it's great skills. Obviously, it if it works for you, you know what it is. If it works for your group, if it works for you, and all that. But I'm like, why going there? Why trying to be something you're not, to create an effect that you can maybe create in a different manner? And also on an ethical level, there might be some people out there that don't like sublimation. You know, that's like to be tricked out, I would say. You know, plot-wise, it's fun because it's called, you know, a twist or something that happens, and you know, you're surprised. Oh, but when it starts to get on that level of you trying to fool me, I don't know. But anyway, that's one thing. I just wanted to ask, you know, what you guys think about that. Should we be ethical in the way we tricked out the player, you know, or just the way where are you willing to go, you know? If I want to make you paranoid, if I want to scare you, if I want to frighten you, if I want to make you feel awkward or, you know, all kinds of really specific emotion, I'm gonna use narrative tools, you know, straightforward narrative tools to do that. Might gonna have to prep a little bit more, you know, because it's not easy to do, and I don't claim I'm able to do it. But I would use narrative tools, you know. I would use straightforward, honest, in-your-face twist and NPCs, and I will descriptions and stuff like that. I would not try to trick you on a meta level. But that's me, you know. And there's something, I don't know, there's something ethical about it, and also a matter of energy. I mean, it's a lot of energy trying to do those special effects. Now, on another note, when I started to listen to that video, the title was Implied Descriptions. Implied Descriptions. So I I saw that as something I would call listening between the lines. And this is something that I think doesn't work. And it's not something Roomslinger talks about. It's what I thought it was about. That's why I listened to the video in the first place. Listening between the lines is something that I thought at the when I started to GM that I thought the player would do, and it's so wrong, man. And the guy that made me realize that is the Swamper, Rob, because I did it in my Shadowrun campaign when I first started. I was like, I was describing and implying implicitly stuff like between the line. I was expecting the player to grasp on these things, and sometimes they do, you know, but most of the time they don't. It's because the thing is that, and it's quite simple, you know. This idea is that you describe stuff, you make things happening, you make things happen in the game, and you expect the player to listen between the lines, to see what you are implying, but that description by those events. So you know in your head what it is, and you expect them to grasp on that. Hey man, that's a big mistake, because first, when you do that, there's a logical correspondence to the fact that you need that thing that is between the line as a GM. You know what I'm saying? Like when you expect them to grasp on X, you want X to happen. Otherwise, you won't do all that. You will not do all these narrations and descriptions if you don't want X to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you're fucked. You paint yourself in a corner, because now you are pushing and then you start railroading right away without even noticing. You know, it's like you get stuck in your narration, you're done. It's like you start to imply and give all kinds of details and clues and hint, and you want them to grasp on the damn thing, and they don't grasp. They don't grasp on it. You know what I'm saying? So the session starts to turn around. They starts to do mistakes, but they are mistakes for you as a GM. They're not mistakes for them. This is like the kind of stuff that I don't play like that anymore. You know, when I first started, I thought that the player should be listening between the lines. And I was like, what's wrong with them? You know, they're just lazy player or poor players or whatever. I was like, I couldn't understand why they couldn't grasp what I was talking about. And then Rob told me that you cannot expect them to understand what's between the lines, because what you're implying, because it's a game. You know what I'm saying? It's not a text that they read. You know, they listen. So they're watching at their character sheet, they half listen to you, they have something else in their mind, they think on a strategic level because they have a character sheet and stats in front of them. Sometimes they role play, so now they are in character, so they don't use the same kind of cognitive listening. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't listen in the same way when they are in character than when they are themselves. And then at the same time, it takes a lot of energy and mental focus to listen between the lines. I mean, it's not like reading between the lines, obviously, because you speak in a certain way. Sometimes you take voices, so the attention is not the same. So forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it. So I just wanted to share that mistakes I was making when because when I was and I felt a little bit of that in some places in the video, in the Runeslingers video, and I'm not saying that he's using that method, because I'm pretty sure he's not. I hope so, because I don't believe that it works. Maybe it works, you know, Obviously it's gonna work with your group and the people you're used to play with, because you get on a level at a certain point when they understand the way you narrate and they can do it. But usually you need to repeat your shit, and you need to be clear about things, and not trying to hide stuff in the narration, because at the point where you start hiding things in the narration, implying that they're gonna get it and stuff like that, you are going down a rabbit hole of railroad and putting pressure on the player and putting pressure as a GM on the narration, obviously. And it's not bad. I'm not saying railroad is bad. It's just that if it's not what you want to do, if it's not what you're trying to do, and well, you should be aware. Should be aware of that. And also at the same time, it's asking a lot from the players to listen on such a high level. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so this is like a 2-part video. I'm sorry about that. I don't like to do that, but the first question was, what do you consider an ethical level of stuff you can do and you can't do on in RPG as a GM or as a player? Do you think that, is there some places you're not willing to go, like for example heavy sublimation and trickery, like I mentioned from Runeslinger's video, and so that's one thing, and the second thing is the listening between the lines. What do you think about that? Do you think that it has its place? Like for example in a mystery, or in a detective scenario or something like that, or where you have to do a lot of investigation and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it has its place. And do you use it? If so, how do you use it? I never managed to achieve or to succeed using that in the way I wanted. So if you have any tips on how to do that technique, let me know. All right, talk to you soon.